Hey everyone, well, it's the end of 2025 and I find myself in Massachusetts on the East Coast over here. I'm at Thunder Bike Park right now and I haven't been here in 6 years, so in a bit we're going to take this rig and swirl around a little bit. But the end of the year, that means a long-term review is due on this Propain Spindrift. This is the Propain Spindrift CF5 Carbon Fiber 5. And in this video, I just want to talk about some of the things that I think make this bike one of the most ultimate bikes you could probably ride. I know it sounds that's high praise, right? But I'm going to talk about it. The end of the year for 2025 also means I've been riding Propain bikes for 4 years. That's pretty crazy. I never really set out to be a sponsored bike rider, but here we are. So thanks Propain. It's been a great ride. Now, I get a lot of messages on Instagram from people asking, "Hey Ryan, I ride this. Should I get a Tyee or should I get a Spindrift?" Or they'll ask, should I get a Spindrift or the Rage, the downhill bike, right? And the Tyee being the 160 millimeter enduro bike. I ride these bikes all the time and I have them with me everywhere I go. When I am opening the back of my van, I actually will go, crap, what bike am I gonna ride now? Like, what experience do I want, right? I'm pretty convinced you can just about ride everything with all of them. The Rage, if you're gonna be doing huge, like 60-foot drops, right? Then you don't wanna be taking out the Tyee. Quick story, when I first signed on with Propain bikes, I actually rejected the Spindrift. Now, it wasn't the Spindrift, it was a model before, the Carbon Fiber 4. And the reason I did that was because I saw it was a 180 millimeter bike, and I just kind of figured that there was no place for that, and it was gonna be too squishy for most situations, or like not enough for the other situations. So I rejected it. I just had the Tyee, I just had the Rage. And when I finally got the Spindrift, I realized I screwed up. This bike spans well into any area you can ride, like a lower travel enduro bike. I actually raced a cross-country race on my Spindrift in Marin County, California, and then the next week took it to France, to Royal Hills, where we were hitting like these huge 70-foot big jump lines. So this bike it's really a do-it-all bike. I don't know how else to put it without sounding too sales pitchy. The new Carbon Fiber 5, this is the updated one. I've second year riding this, and I always find myself reaching for this bike. Where I could ride my downhill bike and have a blast, like here at like any bike park, I'll usually find myself saying, "Hey, I need to go get the Spindrift." Like, something about the responsiveness of the 180 millimeter system here, it's extremely alive. I think a lot of people think that it's going to be too dead, and with a great setup, it's not going to be too dead. It's extremely alive. And then with the same setup, I find myself just kind of feeling really invincible when I go into treacherous, high speed, crappy, chunky, crappy is an awesome, like chunky trail. Like, it's so composed. A little bit about the bike setup I'm running here. This is an extra large. It's set up in mullet, 29 up front, 27.5 in the back. I have ridden it in full complete 29 quite a bit. We was doing backflips on the old model on A-Line years ago, and raced 29er on a couple of enduros. But the mullet option definitely gives it a little bit more of that playful option, which I think a lot of people are searching for. Also, I am 6 foot. All of my bikes are extra large. To me, that is maximum playfulness, because if you're not centered in your bike, your cornering control is going to be a little plateaued potentially, right? Or you're really going fast and staying centered is going to be maybe a little plateaued as well. I think a lot of people search for really small bikes, and I'm a big believer in getting the proper size bike. Now, on the Propain website configurator, there's just so many different options to build these bikes. This one is one of the specs almost to the T. You can get this on the website. This particular one has the Fox 38 up front with the Grip X2 damper. And then the DHX2 coil shock. I'm about 185 pounds, somewhere around there. And I have the 600-pound coil, and I think it is right on the money. So a little bit of insight. This one came with a DT Swiss FR 1500 wheels. I always run Tannis tire inserts in all of my bikes. I think they're super crucial. Why not prevent damage to your wheels and pinch flats as much as you can? TRP brakes. All of my bikes have TRP brakes. Fantastic. Do recommend. I also swapped out the reverse components for all my bikes, handlebars, grips, pedals, seat, the whole works, right? Reverse components has great stuff. So almost just like you could get it on the website. A couple other cool details that I really like is the upper link that goes into the top tube is really wide. I'm pretty sure it's as wide as the one on the downhill bike. Got these fat top tubes, just real thick, real nice, real sturdy. All right, so I'm gonna stop yabbering and we'll jump on the bike, swap to the GoPro. 210 millimeter dropper post fits in there as well, slams all the way down. So I've ridden this bike from the steepest ridgelines in Utah to the flattest cross-country trails to some of the biggest jumps in the world. Now we're on the East Coast at Thunder Mountain Bike Park, and I don't know this place. Let's just take it for a rip, find some blue trails, find some black trails. Oh, still learning the lines. Oh, whoop. Oh, wrong gear. Okay, I don't know if you noticed, but through that last section of high-speed rock, this bike was extremely silent. Bike's almost a year old and oh, very silent rig. Okay, this is Keganator. They told me to come look for this trail, so here I am. And yeah, ooh. Whoa, sweet. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, putting this bike, wow, look at these corners. Putting this bike right in them is pretty awesome. Hey all. Whoa. Wow, what a trail. The story with this trail was, apparently it was kind of a poacher trail. The bike park decided to legitimize it. Look at these corners. Hop out of there. Whoa. Yeah, little baby hop. Oh, definitely trying to look ahead as well as I can. Ooh, little hop. Ooh, yeah, never a little hop. Whoa, tight right-hander. Wow, my pedal even hit the ground over there. What a sweet trail. Yeah, I see somebody branching off over there. Yep, what a rig. Silent, very sturdy, easy to articulate through those corners that were blind and just awesome. What a rig, and what a great trail. Here we got some more options. Ooh, a little hop maybe. Ooh. Oh wow. Fun. Yes. Bounce. Yeah, if you want to just pick up off of a little root and give it a little bounce, no prob. Wow, how fun. Haha, thanks a bunch. Sweet. Okay, it is now the next day because I had a bit of a GoPro dilemma. We're back on the Spindrift, just gonna drop right in. It is the next day, so it is cold, it rained, the suspension is super harsh because the fluid is freezing, and so are the tires. We're just gonna have one last little rip on the Spindrift. Whoa. Hey, whoa, where are we going here? Gosh, okay, it's slick in here. Figure we'll just do one last lap, wrap up this vid. If you're watching still, thanks a lot. Basically, I just wanted to talk about the Spindrift here and the Tyee. All of my Tyees and Spindrifts, I have not put, I have not put one single, whoa, hairline crack in them. Okay, these rocks are slick, as you just saw. But yeah, durability, longevity on these bikes, I can 100% honestly say, woo, I have not put one little crack in them. They're nice and stout, nice and tight, silent. So, you know, a lot of great bikes out there. These are some of them.